Good evening. It's time for the Sharks versus the Dragons at Rodney Parade in Newport, Wales. Unfortunately for Shark supporters, there was the loss against Connacht last week. After a very good first half, the Sharks probably should not have given that one up, but they did kick a last-minute penalty to secure a bonus point. But they will be desperate to get this victory, especially with a lot of Springboks coming back over the next few weeks, possibly. I don't know exactly how to work with them being away and whether the Springboks will fly over there. Jaden Hendrickson did do that. So let's just go through the team quickly. Starting at loose head prop, into Tuku Mkunu, Dylan Richardson, Ruandrea, Jason Jenkins, Gerban Grobler, James Venter, Vincent Chituka, Captain Manu Chituka, Jaden Hendrickson, starting with his brother for the first time since they played first 15 for Glenwood in 2018. So a nice reunion of sorts for the brothers there. Siamasuku, Ethan Hooker, Andre Estesen, Jorenzo Julius, who was very good against Connacht, I must say, and Edwin Keita. So two sets of brothers starting for the Sharks. Replacements, Fez Mbata, Trevor Nyakane, Handru Jacobs, Corner Heral, Pepsi Buthelezi, who makes a comeback, Cameron Wright, Lionel Curry, and Francois Venter. I think is back from his few match suspension after that head knock in the Bulls semi-final of the Curry Cup. So the Dragons, Rodri Jones, Brody Coughlin, Leon Brown, Ben Carter, captain, Matthew Screech, Shane Lewis-Hughes, Tane Basham, Dan Lydiot, Rodri Williams, Lloyd Evans, Jared Rosser, and Nurin Owen, Harry Wilson, Rio Dyer, and Angus O'Brien. Replacement, Ollie Burrows, Rodrigo Martinez, Chris Coleman, Joe Davies, Ryan Woodman, Dane Blacker, Will Reed, and Joe Westwood. So obviously don't know the Dragons players as well as I do the Sharks players, but I will try my best to call them as I see them. So a little earlier, the Bulls, in my first live stream of URC commentary, very good victory for the home side, 47-21. Obviously, this now is my second live stream, so bear with me. I will be posting scores in the comments. I will mention it as often as I can and the time as well, but I'm not quite there where I will have a score bug on screen. So give it time, it'll come. But I will post all score updates in the comments. I do have a poll at the moment. Sharks win, Sharks loss, or Sharks draw. Now, I presume most of my viewers will be Shark supporters. So I'll be surprised if you say anything other than the Sharks win. But please, have your say in the poll. So the Bulls try scorers, Johan Grobelaar in his 50th. Also in his 50th, David Creel scoring a try. Ulrich Lowe with a brilliant game. Cameron Hanekom with a try, another, 3 steals. Who knows what else? If that guy's not a box soon, I'll be surprised. Buta Chamberlain scored a try with 3 conversions. He stayed on for the whole game, but after kicking 3 out of 3, David Creel took over and kicked 2 conversions. And then when he was off, Keegan Johannes kicked a conversion. So interesting how they giving everyone a chance. Curtly Arendse, the Springbok flyer, scored a try of his own, as well as another Springbok back, Kanan Moody. So a very, very good day out for the Bulls. Earlier, the Lions, 48-0 up at halftime. Can you believe it? And they would eventually win 55-21. I'm sure they would have bitten your hand off if you had offered them that at the start. But they'd be a little disappointed that Edinburgh scored 3 tries in the second half and they only scored 1. Edinburgh almost getting the bonus point. And in both cases, 21 points from the visitors, just missing out on bonus points. And we all know every single point and every bit of points difference helps at the end of the day. Other results from last night, Connacht kicking a penalty in the last couple of minutes to beat Scarlets in Wales, 24-23. So a good start for the Irish province. They've won 2 out of 3 and have 11 points. And Glasgow with a big win, 52-36 over Cardiff. Cardiff had their chances, but Glasgow, the defending champions, showing what they're made of. At the same time, we will have Zebre Palmer hosting Leinster while the Sharks game is on. So I'll try to bring you those updates. So the Sharks run out onto the field at Rodney Parade, a famous old ground, home to the original Newport side. They became Newport Gwent Dragons, then just Dragons. Similar to South African rugby, in that they went the franchise route after having their traditional provinces or clubs and created franchises, which are then run by the Wales Rugby Union. Don't know if it's quite the same in Ireland. They've really stuck to the old traditional provinces there: Leinster, Ulster, Connaught, and Munster. No messing around with weird names and things. I mean, that just is their name, and that has always been their name. And I can appreciate that, the historic nature of names. Unfortunately, in this country, we've had to change basically every name. Surprised they aren't making us as individuals change our names. Both teams out on the field. If you are watching at the moment, tell me where you're watching from. It would be great to know. Oh, the yeses are winning 100%. Surprise, surprise. Thanks for the vote. So the Sharks with a strong team, but imagine what it will be when all the Boks are back. Don't know when that'll happen because, of course, there is the end of year tour. And Siamasuku kicks off. The Dragons caught in their own 22. Rodri Williams making his first start of the season, the scrum half, kicks it way downfield to Jordan Hendrickse, who feeds Masuku, who steps off his right. And one of the Dragons are on their feet over the ball, and he steals it. I don't know if he was... And he has a chuckle about that. I don't know if he was supporting his own weight there. But either way, it's a penalty. Forced by Shane Lewis-Hughes, the number 6 of the Dragons. And they're going to go for the 3 points just on his side of the 10-meter line. Lloyd Evans, the fly half. And he... looks like it's going left. Early opportunity gone awry there for the Dragons, hoping they won't have too many opportunities. Not that I'm biased at all. I only happen to live in KZN. Masuku passes it to Esterhuizen, who passes it back, and he eventually kicks off, but looks like it was half charged. But the Sharks secure the ball. Masuku to Esterhuizen. Is he caught with ball and all? Oh my word, he is. Wow. Isolated. And again, The same man, Lewis Hughes. Wow, 2 steals in 2 minutes for the flanker. I don't know if he plays for Wales. Maybe you can tell me. But, Warren Gatlin will be looking at that. Lloyd Evans with a chance to redeem himself. As we head into the 4th minute, Lloyd Evans with another opportunity. This time from the other side of the uprights. A bit closer, and it's straight down the middle. Lloyd Evans opens the scoring at Rodney Parade. Dragons 3, Sharks 0. After those 2 steals, they probably do deserve that lead. Masuku kicks off deep into their 22. And the ball comes back the Sharks' way. It's with Manu Chituka, but he gets tackled backwards. Hendrickse, Esterhuizen with the flat ball. Ethan Hooker does well. He's been a bit of a revelation at left wing. The ball goes attempted inside, but it's gone forward. The Dragons clean up. And they're going to fling it downfield and then kick it downfield. Plenty of space. Hendrickse allows it to bounce. And it's gone over the try line. He dots it down. They might have kept that in hand. It looked like there were a few men out on the left, but no, he kicked it forward. So it's a try line restart. Masuku bangs it downfield, just short of the halfway line. Trotting forward is Tane Basham. He loves the contact, that's for sure. Caught behind the advantage line. Good tackle by Manu Chituka. Carter, the captain, takes it forward. Williams digging for it. Looks like he's going to go for the box kick. It's into the 22, and it's secured by Masuku, who takes the mark. And then he kicks it downfield. He finds space. But Evans feeds the man on the inside. Kick to the far left side of the field, and it's a very good kick. And it's a 50-22. Can you believe it? Wow. Possibly fullback Angus O'Brien there. And that's out about 16 or 17 meters short of the try line. Yep, Angus O'Brien seeing the space now. Easy take, no challenge from the Sharks. They go blindside. Basham feeds the man. It went back to the scrum off Williams. Good start from the Dragons, the home side. Trying to inch their way forward. Flat pass, Evans. Evans kicks it through. It's cleaned up by Dylan Richardson. Good work from the hooker. He makes a few meters. Jaden Hendrickse to James Fenter. The Sharks in their 22 will want to clear this. Hendrickse lining up for the box kick. Kicks it a little deeper than he would have. Easy take from Evans, but well tackled. Williams goes to the left. Secured by the Dragons. To Lewis Hughes. And it's passed backwards and then the up and under. Sharks, brilliant take by Hooker, but no, the ball goes forward. It's almost like Hendricks and Hooker got in each other's way there. Now the Dragons in possession. Basham. No advantage. He was caught in possession. Hooker going up and then Hendrickse also. And it looked like if Hendrickse didn't go up, Hooker might have taken it. But yeah, went forward. Rio Dyer, the right winger for the Dragons, a very exciting youngster. A bit of work being done on Vincent Chituka, I think on his calf, so a bit of a break in play. Homemade lemonade from the wife. So a scrum for the home side. Probably about 35 meters out. 15 meters in from the right-hand touchline. Definitely can't give Rio Dyer space. I mean, Ethan Hooker was forced to play left wing due to the return of Andre Esterhuizen, but he's been solid there, that's for sure. Jaden Hendrickse messing with Tane Basham there. The ball's gone forward off the Shark scrum off, and it's kick over the top by Rodney Williams. And no advantage. Penalty to the Dragons. Marginally high tackle. Sure. Okay. Lloyd Evans might possibly kick another one. No, he's going for the right-hand corner. And he kicks it out about 12 meters short of the Sharks' try line. Dragons definitely having the best of. Looks like there was a bit of a head clash. Oh my word. And here we go. They've now had another look at it. And there's a head clash. Totally accidental. But they're going to look at it now. Back in the day, they would have said, they wouldn't even give it a penalty, to be honest. Because the arms weren't high. They accidentally touched faces. Basically, he kissed him. Yeah. The Inurin Owen, the inside center with ball in hand. And the man who could possibly go to the bin, James Fenter. Goodness. Definitely James Fenter. I mean, if this is a red card, I'll eat my hat. And I don't want to because I like it. They're going to say he's upright. Not completely. I mean, he also stepped into James Fenter. Upright, clear head contact. Just a yellow card. These days, I mean, if a player is changing direction and you're not actually even expecting him, then how are you supposed to be in a position to have your head down if you weren't expecting the player to come your way? It's illogical. Sorry, illogical. Anyway, so the Sharks down to 14 men. The Dragons leading 3-0 after 10 minutes. And they secure the line out and set up the maul. Slowly but surely, the maul goes down. And has the ball gone forward? Yes, it has. Wow, the Sharks escaping luckily from that one. Most referees, whenever a maul goes down, they just give a penalty. Seem to go down naturally, whatever that means. And then the man playing scrum off, who wasn't the scrum off, and that might be the reason why. Brodie Coughlin, the hooker. Okay, so it looks like there might have been a Sharks. Oh, and that's why he knocked it on, because it was a Sharks hand that came through and knocked it down. Discipline, Sharks. Evans stabs it into the corner. Looks like it was Jason Jenkins with his hand coming through there. You can't slap the ball out of someone's hand. You can't even play the scrum off. And he was effectively the scrum off. So now Coughlin will feed the line out. And the ball goes loose and is picked up by Mtunu Hendrikse to Chituka, one of them. I'm right. Somewhere along the line. Hendrikse digs for the ball. Bit of a mess, that ruck. And he's going to kick the box kick. And he kicks it out. Which, considering it was in the 22, he could do that. Jason Jenkins making up for his penalty with a steal at the line out. A very good buy, if you ask me, Jason Jenkins. I mean, with all our lock issues, scrum or injury-wise, don't be surprised if he goes in the Indigo Tour. This time, solid from the Dragons, out to the back line, up to the 10-meter line. Williams, Lloyd Evans with a long pass to the outside. Lewis Hughes loitering out there. Dan Lydiot, the old warhorse. Plenty of matches for Wales. Williams, good quick service. Nice slick handling down the back line, but good defense from the Sharks. Sharks just must absorb the pressure here. Williams kicks it over the top into space, and what a kick from the scrum half. He probably had a peek, saw there was no one covering that open ground in the 22. And he kicks it out 7 or 8 meters out from the Sharks' try line. Everything going the way of the Dragons at this stage. Dylan Richardson to feed the line out. Hendrikse kicks from the base of the ruck. The ball is flinged back by one of the Dragons, but they do clean up nicely. Rio Dyer feeds the men on the outside. Jared Rosser does very well. The ball's come out the ruck. It's available. And the referee gives a penalty. Surely the ball was out there. Another penalty to the Dragons. I'll tell you. Vincent Chituka wondering what's going on. Dylan Richardson coming in from the side there and conceding the penalty. So the Dragons bring it down. Basham with a brilliant run. Comes off his right foot. Makes 15 meters. The ball goes backwards. Maybe off a Shark's hand. The referee's got his hand out. Evans, with the short pass, but that doesn't work. And the referee brings them back. Sure, is anything going to go the Sharks' way in this match? They just have to absorb the pressure. That's what it's all about. So, just a scrum. Sharks still down to 14 men. We're into the 17th minute. The Dragons leading 3-0 with a scrum. 12 meters out from the Sharks line. Nkunu, Dreyer, and Richardson up front. He goes blindside, Williams. Good defense. Williams finds Lydiot. Lydiot, short pass. Almost there. 1 meter short. And Nuran Owen. The ball comes back again. Williams calling to Lydiot. He doesn't quite make it. Tane Basham. And he's over. Tane Basham making his comeback for the Dragons. Scores right next to the left-hand upright. On the inside of the left-hand upright. Relentless pressure from the home side. Picked it up and went forward about 3 meters. Despite the efforts of Ruan Dreyer and Jason Jenkins. Coming around the corner and diving over, showing his power. Formality, the conversion. 10-0 to the Dragons. James Fenter, of course, is still off. We're into the 19th minute. 10-0 to the Dragons. Undoubtedly the better team so far. Following, Jordan Hendrickson runs it up after the clearance kick. Hendrickson, Masuku to Jason Jenkins, makes a few meters. Hendrickson goes left again. Oh, beautiful run from Julius. He finds Hook on the outside. He cuts back inside up to the 22. Julius plays scrum off to Manu Chituka. Henrikse trips over Dragon. Dylan Richardson took the ball up. Now Jordan Henrikse back inside to the bulking frame of Andre Esterhazen. Referee, advantage to the Sharks. Not rolling away, I suspect. Long pass out from Masuku to Ethan Hooker. Can he go all the way? He's tackled 6 meters short. He pops it up to Jason Jenkins. Henrikse, I'd imagine advantage is over. He ran about 20, 30 meters. Dragons defending it manfully. Still advantage. There you go. Richardson takes it up. 8 meters short. Henrikse, short ball to Vincent Chituka. The ball gets pilfered from him, but no advantage. Not rolling away. So the Sharks finally, with some possession. Yep, not rolling away from the Dragons there. Ethan Hooker slipping out of the tackle there from Lloyd Evans. And really, his power added to his certainly adequate pace could make him a real weapon on the left wing there. Brody Coughlin, the hooker, conceding the penalty. Lloyd Evans went head first there, almost knocked himself out. Rio Dyer with the try-saving tackle as James Fenter comes back on the field. Perfect timing as the Sharks are going to tap and go, it seems. Interesting. Evans needed some tap and go. Henrikse goes left. Not much in that quick tap, but anyway, Henrikse, flat ball to Andre Esterhazen. He's a couple meters short. Henrikse to Jenkins. He's been a big ball carrier so far. 2 meters short. I think Manu Chituka picking the ball up there. This time Kunu. Richardson, very close to the line. Pick up and go. Is he over the line? Yes, he is. Try for the Sharks. They open their account. And it is Vincent Chituka, the captain, leading by example. Just what the Sharks needed as Fenter came back on. Siamasuku, very good kicking record so far for the Sharks. Will be attempting the conversion. Sia praise good. Let's see if I can praise his good kick. Oh my word. He should never have missed that, and he missed it. Commentator's curse. Wow. That's a bit of a shocker. So, 10-5, should have been 10-7, to the Dragons. We're into the 23rd minute. Sharks in possession. Hendrickse with the box kick from his own 22. Doesn't go very far, straight down the middle of the field. But it's knocked back and then picked up by Rodney Williams, who escapes multiple tacklers. 10 meters short. Picked up by Basham. And there you go. James Fenter back on the field and attempts to steal the ball and secures the penalty. And that is why you're there, James. Good job. Some very good loose forwards on show today, especially at the breakdown. James, for a couple of years, kind of went missing in that department. But recently, he's shown exactly what he's made of. And he secures a couple of penalties, if not steals, per match. I mean, if that's your job, you need to show results. So the Shark kick downfield. Richardson from Jenkins down to Hendrickse. Again, back to Jaden with the box kick. Number of players following up. And the ball goes backwards and forwards. And so it looks like handling errors from both sides. Let's have to see who knocked on first there. Looks like it might be a Shark scrum. And no, it is a Dragon scrum. Just inside the Sharks' half. Vital to get this victory for the Sharks after last week's narrow loss. A game they probably should have won. Dan Lydiot passes from the base. Williams cuts around beautifully. Can he feed the man on the outside? He can. Rio Dyer cuts back inside. Tackled a couple meters short. And surely the ball is out there. But no, the referee says it wasn't out. And is that over? Wow. If not, it was centimeters short. Brilliant wraparound from Williams. And it's a try for the Dragons. Very good play from the home side. So Chris Coleman was obviously a late change, who is a tight head prop instead of Leon Brown, who was announced earlier in the week. So the tight head prop scoring the try. Sharks players all on their heels there. Last ditch tackle on Rio Dyer. But it was relentless from the home side. And the tight head prop Coleman picking up and going over. Evans with the attempt. We're into the 28th minute. And the ball goes just right to the upright. So no conversion. 15-5 to the home side. Sharks will need to hit back quickly. And they go down the back line. kicked from his 22-meter line. But Siamasuku is there to tidy up. He kicks it way up for Jordan Hendrickse, who tackles O'Brien. Fullback on fullback. It should be a maul. It's gone down to ground, and it's a turnover. Oh, it was from a catch. So it can be no turnover, even if it turns into a maul. Interesting rule that, if you think about it. Why would that be different to any other situation just because it's from a catch? Anyway, one of those weird idiosyncrasies of rugby. $15-5 to the Dragons after half an hour at Rodney Parade. And it's a penalty for the Sharks. A scrum penalty. The Sharks certainly haven't been as dominant as the Bulls were against Ulster. But that time forcing a penalty. And Masuku from the centre of the field. Good touch finder. About 13 or 14 short of the try line. Sharks in possession, but the maul isn't really going anywhere. Probably going to need to get it out soon. Richardson gets tackled backwards as he is caught in possession. Chituka pops it out for Jenkins. 7. Basham thought he had rights to it, but he didn't. Richardson passes to Esterhazen, who tried to find hook on his outside, but the ball went forward off Williams, which was supposedly not deliberate this time. That's always a contentious one. These days, unless you are making a real obvious attempt to catch the ball and scoop it upwards, you are going to concede a penalty. Sometimes a yellow card as well. That time it's Rodri Williams. No, he was definitely trying to catch the ball. Wasn't it so clear? So Sharks with a scrum. Just outside the 22 of the Dragons. There are 8 minutes left in the half. Can they cut the deficit? It's a decent scrum, but it's going up, and it's a penalty for the Sharks. Hendrickse will play to Masuku with a cross kick. Taken by Edwin Keita, who does well. Back to Hendrickse, into the 22. Ball comes back for his brother. And somehow hands were in the way. He managed to hold on to it, gave it to James Fenter. Hendrickse, oh, that's James Fenter, must have been Richardson. Masuku, flat ball to Julius. He comes off his left. He goes straight. So that wasn't Julius. That was actually Mkunu. Wow. Stepping like a backer. And it's a penalty to the Sharks, collapsing the scrum. They've come all the way back for that penalty. I'm all for playing advantage, but sure, when you've played so far to the other side of the field and the new beast. No, sorry. Ox is the new beast. Ox is a different type of beast. So Masuku kicks it out 10 meters short of the line. Time to strike for the Sharks. 6 minutes left in this half. This will be a really nice boost to go into the change room. Only a few points behind. Wow, the ball has somehow gone forward there. Jenkins was gesticulating. I think he said he might have been taken out before he hit the ground, but somehow they've lost it. And that was a bit of a waste. Should I say it was Grobler. As he tried to hand the ball to one of his teammates, they knocked the ball on. Can't commit those basic errors. So the tight five of the Dragons: Jones, Coughlin, late replacement Coleman, Carter, and Screech. Up against Nkunu, Richardson, Dreyer, Jenkins, and Grobler. If you are watching at the moment, tell me where you're watching from. I'd love to know. Okay, so the scrum. Another big scrum from the Sharks, and it's a penalty to the Dragons this time. Saying that the Sharks wheeled it, it certainly was going forward on the left-hand side and Kunu's side. But then you say to yourself, that's a tough one, because the guy you're scrumming against, the opposition tight head, could just be backing off. Or his loose head could be scrummaging forward well, which he wasn't. He was basically standing there doing nothing. It's all guesswork, let's be honest. I mean, as much as I love scrums. Oh, the Dragons secure the line-out. Basham, again with ball in hand, up to the halfway line. Williams, lovely stuff from the Dragons. Rio Dyer coming down the middle. Oh, controlled well. It goes out to the left-hand side. O'Brien to the man on the left-hand side. Is he going to pass to the man? Yes. Looks like Williams is going to score a try. Brilliant play by the Dragons. And if anyone deserves it, the number 9 certainly does. O'Brien fed Jared Rosser on the left-hand side. Very good attack from the Dragons. He then passed back inside to the scrum half, who was supporting on the inside. Angus O'Brien to Rosser, back inside to Rodri Williams. A very good try from the home side. Easy decision for Angus O'Brien to pass to Rosser. Edwin Cater came inside, left the left wing, unmarked, who pinned his ears back. Hendrikse had no chance there with the 2-on-1. Evans converts the try. 22-5. We're into the final minute. The Dragons leading 22-5. Whew. Ball gets kicked downfield. The Dragons, of course, have never beaten the Sharks in 3 attempts. Looking very good at this stage. Hendrickse to Manu Chituka over the halfway line. The Sharks absolutely have to score before halftime, even if it's 3 points. Hendrickse to Fenta, who dummies and goes himself. Hendrickse, Masuku, Julius steps off the outside. A brilliant. Hooker, back inside. Oh, magnificent from the Sharks. And Hooker, who could have gone over, then passes back inside to Hendrickse. Yes, it's a try. Sure. I thought the referee was going to call that back. What a try from the Sharks. Goodness. Julius with the brilliant step. Julius he then passes to Hooker, who immediately passes back inside to Esterhazen, back to Hooker. Hooker could have put it down, but he passes back inside to Jaden Hendrickse. Wow. Definitely one of the tries of the season. That's exactly what the Sharks needed to do now. Lorenzo Julius. Wow. A dangerous customer with that step and that pace off the mark. Unbelievable. Of course, the conversion, a formality for Masuku. So 22-12 at halftime. Okay, so I can't put J Hendrickse. It's going to have to just be Jaden H. And that was in the 40th minute. Conversion Masuku. If the Sharks ever needed a try, that was the time. So halftime at Rodney Parade. Dragons 22, Sharks 12. Will that be the boost that the Sharks needed heading into the halftime break? What is happening in Italy? Let's have a look. Leinster leading 28-0. It's effectively an international team playing against, well, I suppose most of Italy's team, but it's probably around halftime, if not halftime. Yep. They're going to be hard to beat, as they always are. At halftime in the Bulls game, I went through some of the scores from the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship. Bit of a golf nut as well, so let me see. They would all be finished by now. Tyrrell Hatton leading on 22 under after a scintillating 11 under 61 at St Andrews. Nicholas Colsart, 21 under, 1 back, 2 further back. Tom Bailon from France. Neergaard Peterson, 2 further back on 17 under. Tommy Fleetwood, James Ashfield, 16 under in the tie for 5th. In the tie for 7th, Lee Hao Tong, Darren Fichart, who eventually signed for a 2 under 70. After that brilliant 61 on day one, he's in the top for 7th with Peter Uline and David Puig, as well as Matthew Jordan and John Rahm. 7 back of his Legion 13 teammate. Interesting how those head-to-heads or battles develop because of the teams they're in the Live League. Jens Dantorp and Daniel Hillier tied for 13 and 14 under. Then quite a few at 13 under. Ollison, Sadia, Smith, Southgate, Brandon Grace, Robin Williams, US Leighton. Grace playing well after a bit of an abysmal season. Tied for 22nd on 12 under. Brown, Micheluzzi, McIntyre, McKibben, John, Campio, and Kepka. Tied for 29th. Wallace, Harrington. I think 60 and ties make the cut. Harrington, Reed, Jones, Armitage, Scalise, Bessard, Paul, Jameson, Dean Burmester. He dropped a few shots over the last few holes there. So he's 11 under, 10 back. Tied for 40th. Justin Harding, amongst others. Rory McIlroy, 11 behind. Volku Nienaber. A huge contingent at 10 under. Including Louis Albertser. These might be the last guys to make the cut on 9 under. Yuvraj Premlal, almost falling out. So 1 over 73. Alex Fitzpatrick just making the cut. And probably ahead of his brother, who is the defending champion. Tristan Lawrence just making the cut on 9 under. And that is that. For those that made the cut. Taylor Gooch tried his best, missed out by 1. Caleb Surratt with a brilliant 8 under 64, but 77 on day 2, paid to that. Matt Fitzpatrick. Of course, he won the individual and he won the team event with his mom last year. So I wonder if the team makes the cut, but the pro doesn't. How that works. That'd be interesting. Maybe someone can let me know. So a big contingent of live players, as well as South Africans at the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship, played over those 3 courses. St Andrews, Kings Barnes, and Carnoustie. Let's just try and get the game back here. It's having a few issues. It is still half time. Okay. As it is, highlights of the Lions game at the moment. If you didn't know before, winning 55-21. And the Bulls, almost equally impressive, 47-21. So one more half of live commentary for me today. But I'm certainly open to doing more games than the 2 I've done today in future. Let me know if you're a big Stormers fan, a Lions fan, and you'd like me to do the games. I mean, it's just like we're sitting together in the lounge, watching together. You can have a bra. I mean, I can't bra while I'm doing this. It'd be a bit difficult. But you can tell me what you're buying, what you're doing. I'd love to know. $48-0 at halftime for the Lions. And Edinburgh then scored 3 tries to 1 in the second half. So the Lions, I'm sure, would like to have closed that off better, almost conceding the bonus point try. not just every log point, every try you can avoid conceding will make a difference at the end of the season. We've seen it over and over how points difference comes into it. So, yeah, you cannot go to sleep, even if you're 48-0 ahead. So, very good game so far, particularly from Tane Basham and Shane Lewis-Hughes. We had those 2 steals within 2 minutes of the start. Rodri Williams probably been the best player on the field. The scrum half was rewarded with a very good try at the end there, thanks to great work from Angus O'Brien and Jared Rosser. Sharks players that are having a good game. No one really stands out. Ethan Hooker's been pretty good. I mean, that quick pass back into Esterhuizen, then wrapping around, taking the pass from the inside center. And he probably could have gone over with his size. Would definitely have backed him 100 times out of 100 there. Excuse me. And I wonder whether you're taking more of a chance by passing it back inside to Jaden Hendrickse, who scored under the poles. I mean, it's not like they had to get closer. Look, every point counts, and you want to make the kick as easy as you can. But I would have backed Masuku to kick that over. Having said that, he missed one from a similar position after the first try. So, don't know. Anyway, no point stressing over that. Try was scored, conversion was kicked, and the Dragons leading 22-12 at halftime in Wales. Let's see what is happening next week. So it looks like it's still 28-0 to Leinster. Later at 25-9, we've got Zebre Palmer versus the DHL Stormers and Munster versus Ospreys. Let's see, next week. Friday starts with the defending champions Glasgow Warriors hosting Zebre Palmer. Then Saturday, Cardiff hosting Scarlets. Benetton hosting the Sharks. So they're probably going to have a big loss. But of course, nothing's guaranteed with the Sharks at this stage. So we'll see how that goes. But Sharks off to Italy for next week. Edinburgh hosting the Stormers. And wow, after they got devoured by the Lions, the Stormers might be lying in wait. They've got a shorter travel from Italy than from South Africa. Leinster hosting Munster. That's always a huge game in Irish rugby. And then the Bulls are on tour. They're at the Ospreys, 25-9. Then at 9 o'clock, Ulster, Connacht. And then a Sunday match. The Lions are at Rodney Parade against the Dragons at 3:30. So the Dragons kick off. And it looks like I might have gone forward of the Sharks. The Dragons have secured it. Williams. It's a short ball. Nice run there. Dyer, almost standing in the fly-off position. He passes to his fullback O'Brien. Secure the ball. Dyer plays scrum off this time. Chris Coleman bulldozes his way. And it's a charge down from Vincent Chituka. It's cleaned up by Evans. He skips his way through a few tackles. Williams to Lydiate. Williams again. Back to Evans. Kicks it almost sideways. Can the Sharks benefit from this? Seems like they're in possession. The ball goes backwards, does it? Either way, it goes out. Trying to flick the ball backwards for some reason. Rather stay in possession there. Go to ground, secure it, and carry on playing. That isn't even a 50-50. That's a 10-90 in the tackle, trying to flick the ball backwards like that. So, Dragons with the line out on the 10-meter line in their half. It is well taken. That's good defense from the Sharks. Basham not going forward. And then I was going to say, how is he moving forward there? Well, he was tackled down to ground and he crawled effectively, giving the Sharks the penalty. And then one of the Dragons chirped. So the referee has taken the Sharks forward another 10 meters. And is this an opportunity to go for posts? Because it will take them to 15, be within one converted try. But it looks like Masuku is kicking. That wasn't a great kick. I mean, from that angle, he should really have kicked it out close to the 5-meter line. It's more like 15 meters out. He was held on the ground and couldn't get back up again. So, Richardson. Who is he looking for? Oh, well taken from Jenkins. Hendricks, a flat ball to Julius. Shows his strength. Hendricks behind. Oh, the ball is ripped out by one of the Dragons, but it's gone forward off the Dragon. Hendricks passed it behind Richardson's back, possibly to Rowan Dreyer, and it was ripped out. Shouldn't be allowed, or shouldn't allow it to happen. But it's a knock-on, fortunately, for the Sharks' sake. Nurin Owen, the inside center, doing the ripping there. We're into the 44th minute, time off or something. Sharks trailing by 10. Desperate to get their campaign off to, or score their first victory after last week's disappointing loss. And it looks like Mkunu is down, holding his wrist. A long day. So the players standing around waiting for Mkunu, and Trevor Nyakane is warming up. Nice to have those resources, that's for sure, on the bench. Looks like they are going to strap him up and keep him on the field. Probably a bit early for a replacement. And Nyakane, of course, coming back to South Africa after a few years with Racing. Their stadium, by the way, was the one used for the aquatic center, or at least the pool, at the Paris Olympics. Amazing how they utilized a rugby field for that. That's thinking out the box. Do not have to build a whole nother stadium. Wonder what that field looked like afterwards. No, it would have. It normally has a roof, I think. Anyway, Sharks. Hendricks puts the ball in. He goes left. Passes back to Julius. Then Hendrickse holds off the man on the outside to Hooker. Hooker comes back inside. Jaden to Jason Jenkins. Goes down to ground. Comes back for Hendrickse to Richardson. Ball's coming out. Hendrickse to Masuku. To Andre Esterhuizen. He breaks one tackle. He passes it over the top. Julius, can he score his first try? I think he has. Has Jorenzo Julius scored his first try for the Sharks in the URC? He's saying forward. Esterhuizen broke through one tackle, popped it over the top. And it was lost forward. Unfortunately, Julius cutting back off his right foot. Oh. And he basically threw the ball at the line. Ooh. Interesting. That looks like they should have another look at that. Great offload from Esterhuizen. A slow-mo would be nice there. I think you need to review that. And the referee, he's not even going to look. I mean, sometimes they look for the most innocuous things. Like obvious tries, just to double check. And that time, I think there was enough contact with his hand on the ball. Oh, they have gone to the TMO. Good. He steps inside, comes off his right foot, takes like 3 players with him. Okay, you're going to have to slow-mo that. And that's a try. That is a try. Well done, Jorenzo Julius. Surely. I mean, is he saying, I have not given it, give me a reason to award the try? So it could stay with the referee's on-field decision. But surely there's enough contact with the hand on the ball. There's no separation. There's no separation. And that's the key. You don't need downward pressure as long as the ball is touching the hand. So the referee is saying he hasn't lost control of the ball and he's in position. And he's given the try. There you go. Jorenzo Julius. Thought so. I could see it all the way here from KZN. And the referee couldn't from 1 meter away. He needed the TMO. Okay, so exactly what the Sharks needed there. Jorenzo Julius. It should probably be Nsuku slotting over the conversion, I would imagine. Okay, Sharks on the comeback trail. Nsuku. And he kicks it, and the slight fade back in. Adds the extra 2. 22-19, 3-point difference. Short restart. And a brilliant take from one of the Sharks players there, just on the 10-meter line. James Fenter rumbles upfield, makes a few meters. Hendrickse digging for the ball. He'll kick it over the top. Hooker takes the man down. The replacement, Will Reed, is on the field with O'Brien off for a HIA. And Rodney Williams is going to do likewise. Kick it into the night sky. Well taken from Jaden to Jordan. to Edwin Keita, I think. Oh, great pickup from Jaden, who gives the ball away. And it's gone forward off a Dragon's hand. Fortunate there. He did so well to pick the ball up while he was running with the ball, almost. While he was running, he picked the ball up, should I say, and then delivered it. And Rodney Williams stealing it from him, who fed it back to Tane Basham, who then knocked it on. So, 48th minute, Dragons leading the Sharks by 3, 22-19. Sharks with the scrum on the 10-meter line in the Dragons' half. Henrikse feeds. It's a good scrum from the Sharks, and it's penalty to the visitors. Henrikse back inside to Shituka, to his brother Manu, over the 22. We've got multiple Dragons on their feet over the ball, and it's another penalty for the Sharks. Okay. Masuku. And it's a kick over the top from Jordan Henrikse. Can Hooker find it? Yes, he can. What a try from the Sharks. Through caution to the wind there, due to the penalty advantage, Jordan Henrikse, standing at fly half, kicks the ball over the defense into the left-hand corner, and Ethan Hooker, with his height, plucking that out of the air. The ball bounces nicely for him. It might not have, but fortune favors the brave, and it stood up beautifully for the left winger. John Plumtree's halftime chat obviously having an effect here, but you'll probably find that that try just before halftime was what did it. Masuku, beautiful kick. He draws it back in. That is lovely. Wowza. I mean, he faded the last one, and he draws this one. If only I could do that on purpose with my golf swing. 26-22 after 50 minutes. What a comeback from the Sharks. Kind of a carbon copy, but just the opposite way around from last week's match. Sharks have secured possession. Just digging for the ball, setting up the caterpillar. Henrikse into the Dragons' half. It's well taken by one of the players from the home side. The ball is presented for Williams, who flings it back to Evans, and he kicks it across field. And it looks like Edwin Keita might have had the ball. Difficult to tell. No, it looks like it's going to be a scrum to the Dragons. I don't quite know what happened there. As I came forward of Henrikse, who jumped up for the ball with one hand. He's probably never going to catch it then. Okay, so the poll is down to 91%. So someone thinks that the Sharks will lose, which, considering the score at 1 point, I'm not really surprised. So, okay. 11 votes. And we've got 9% going for a draw. Interesting. Still no victories for the Dragons. So the ball's been secured by the Dragons. Flings it backwards. But no. Penalty to the Dragons on the halfway line. What do they do here? There's still plenty of time left. You could slot it with the 3 points, be one behind. Or do you go for the line? Williams, okay. So Jason Jenkins trying to intercept the ball. And it could be a yellow card. Just sticking the big mitt out in the way of the ball. And yep. So he says a clear line break. He put his arm out. Jason Jenkins. Off for 10 minutes. Just what the Sharks didn't need. He's having a pretty good game. It really is a risk these days. It used to just be a knock-on. I've gotten so strict with that these days. Ryan Woodman on for Dan Lydiot. It's a great maul from the Dragons. They're deep into the 22 of the Sharks. They're still going. How are the Sharks going to stop this? Might have to be illegally, but no. He breaks off, thankfully for the visitors. 4 meters short. Remember, they've got one extra man. Cries of Dragons go up at Rodney Parade, trying their best to worm their way over the try line. Sharks defending well. Esterhuizen taking someone off the ball. Basham. Lewis Hughes. Coleman. Try scorer from earlier. Coughlin takes it forward. Almost at the base of the upright. Basham tries. He's tackled. Half a meter short. Desperate defense on the Sharks. Are they over the line? Yes, they are. Eventually, the dam wall broke. Gerbrand Grobler trying his best. But that one-man advantage probably made the difference. Ben Carter, the captain. Coming from a brilliant line-out and maul that eventually set up that try. So the Dragons take the lead again by 1 point at this stage with the conversion to come. And you'll more than likely knock this over. It's only a few meters left of the uprights. Evans going to the 56th minute. Oh, and he hooks it. That is a terrible kick. Sorry, bro. Got to kick that over. If the Sharks end up winning by a couple, it'll definitely be his fault. I mean, I can't just put it as his feet. Like everyone was doing at Marnie the other day. But I mean, That was not great. Inyakane, 64-time capped Springbok. Regardless, the Dragons are in the lead. Sharks restart. Basham brings it back up almost to the halfway line, or should I say 22. Williams with the box kick. Really do say that far too much. Jordan takes it out of the air. Back to Inyakane. And they're going down the back line. Oh, great pickup from Ethan Hooker. Wow, he's got strength. Off his feet. Makes 15 meters. Hendrikse to his brother. Masuku. Julius. Comes off his right foot. Beats a man and then shows his strength, but the ball is stolen off him somehow. It's kicked downfield from the Dragons. Jordan Hendrikse has to clean up. He does get to the ball, but he's tackled. 3 Dragons on top of him. This should be interesting. Have they secured this? Wow. Great work coming back to support Jordan Hendrikse there from a number of other Sharks players. Jaden directing traffic. Inyakane takes it up. And he's caught in possession. And that is a great steal from Captain Ben Carter. Or should I say, forcing of a penalty, because he didn't actually steal it. Always interesting whether someone is purposely trying to steal it there, or whether they're just playing for the penalty. I mean, sometimes the penalty is worth more than gaining possession, especially when you do it on your own line. So, the referee has pointed to the posts. And was this another rip? It was. From Anurin Owen. He did it early and it went forward. Brilliant technique from the inside center. The Sharks were on the charge there. And that was timely. Warren Gatland in attendance. So who's kicking now? No, it's someone else. Will Reed. Yep. Evans was kicked to the curb. And he slots it. 59th minute. 30-26 to the Dragons. Jason Jenkins still off the field. It certainly has affected the match with him going off. Grobler taking a man by the neck there, and it's a penalty. The crowd, you can hear their displeasure. Nothing malicious in that. He basically fell into his arm. His neck fell into his arm. My arm was there and he ran into it. Come on. Sure, this match has gone back and forth. Dragons had most of the play in the first half until the last few minutes, really. Sharks came out firing at the start of the second. But Dragons leading by 4 with 20 minutes to go. It was more like a bear hug. That's why he didn't get a yellow. So the The Sharks have stolen it. Masuku kicks it almost sideways. And Rio Dyer takes it brilliantly. Why don't the Sharks keep the ball in hand? That's a great counter ruck from the Sharks. Brilliant. But somehow it comes back the Dragons' way. They're just inside their own half, the visitors, or should I say the home side. Williams going for the box kick again. Taken by Jordan Hendrickse. He passes it back to his brother. There's the long pass out to Edwin Keita. Oh, it's a brilliant tackle from Rossa. And they counter ruck and get the ball back. Wow, that was good work. Great tackle, brilliant counter ruck, and the Dragons are back in possession. Oh, that's a good tackle. He's dumped to the floor. Williams kicks it over the top. Hendrickse is there. And he bangs it downfield. Oh, into the 22 of the opposition. Space and time. He'll run it back. And looks like he was taken out by a Sharks player. And he was. And it's a penalty. What is going on here? I would like to see this. Taking the man out. Lloyd Evans kicking the ball up. Running to try and regather his own kick. And he was taken out. Now, some people will say that was on purpose, but Fenter wasn't looking at him at all. So you could say it was by mistake. He just stepped out of the way of someone. Point is, he took the man out. So either way. So Reed with another penalty attempt from around 44 meters out. Looks like a solid strike, but it's left. He's certainly at the distance, not the direction. Oh, Jason Jenkins is back. Okay. Dane Blacker coming on to replace Rodney Williams, who's had a very good game. In a situation like that, man, when the guy's almost the best player on the field, and it's still up for grabs. It's so rare for someone just to stay on these days, isn't it? Jordan runs straight into the man. Jaden plays Jenkins, who's back on the field. And it's a penalty. One of the Dragons players lying on the wrong side, got under Jaden Hendricks' feet. Bit of rolling around on the floor there. He effectively took the man out, I suppose you could say. So, finally something going for the Sharks here. Masuku kicks for touch. No, it swings back infield. And Lloyd Evans kicks it back upfield. And it's probably out where Masuku could have kicked it. So, still a Sharks line out. Just on their side of the Dragons' 10-meter line. Fezambata's on the field. And somehow it comes back to the Sharks. It looks like they might have stolen it. Bit of a maul, kind of a maul. But no, it's a penalty to the Sharks, not rolling away possibly. Hendrickse. Chituka. No advantage there. We'll go back for the penalty. Oh, Vincent Chituka. And Lewis Hughes having a few words. Then Edwin Keita comes in and pushes him. You mustn't get involved in something that has nothing to do with you. Someone just coming in and pushing could concede a penalty, and that would be very disappointing after having one for yourself. Lewis Hughes has been a little quiet since his very good start, especially in the second half. Referee, been a very good game. Come on, guys. Please don't do this. Come on, let's be friends. Okay, Masuku is going for the corner. He missed his last kick. Better get this one. And that is a cracking kick that time. Remember last week, something similar happened where he kicked it and it looks like it was going to go out and then it swung back in. I don't know if he naturally gets that swing on his ball or whether there's wind, because it looked like it was going to go out and suddenly it didn't. So the Sharks, we're into the 67th minute, trailing by 4. Fezenbata finds Grobler. He passes it back to Mbata. The maul didn't really work, but he popped it. Pick up and go. It comes back. Taking the obvious route forward. Not too complicated. Fezenbata. Ball comes back nicely. I think it's Henry Jacobs on the field. Oh, 2 meters short. Inyakane tries his best. Wrestles a few. Slow ball. I think it's Jacobs again. James Fenter picks it up somehow. He's a meter short. Hendrickse to Esterhuizen. Can he get over? Oh, inches short. But what happens there? The ball goes forward somehow, and the Dragons kick it downfield. It hasn't gone out. Keita cleans up. He takes the tackle, and the Sharks get it back somehow. Down to the left-hand side, and the ball's kicked out. That maybe was not the best option. The ball went forward of someone there. With the try line at the Sharks' mercy. Had their chances there. Don't know, Esterhuizen didn't go over. But it was from that ensuing ruck where the ball went forward. Got the ball back from the kick. Great defense from the home side. Clock stopped at 67:49. We've got a stoppage here. Corneral onto the field. Looks like he's replaced Jenkins. Yes, he replaces Jenkins. So, Dragons with the line out. They secure it. Ball comes out. Makes 5 or 6 meters. The new scrum off Dane Blacker with the box kick. And that goes straight up in the air. How many guys are offside? Surely. I mean, how are they onside if it goes straight up? Anyway, they get the ball back and they kick it downfield. Okay, was that Hooker? He kicked it. Not a great kick. Westwood taken on the halfway line. He gets tackled, comes back for the Dragons. Evans. Tackle behind the advantage line. Blacker. Taking a while to come out. Rumble it up with the forwards. Blacker again. Kicks it up. And it comes off Rio Dyer and into the hands of a teammate, but went forward, which means it's a penalty. Lucky there for the Sharks. Falling in the hands of Ryan Woodman. That is always an unlucky one. Okay, Sia Masuku, that is an atrocious kick. Kicked it way over the dead ball line. I'm sorry. That is unacceptable. He was so solid last season with things like that. I'm just trying to work out. I mean, it's a tightish angle. Just kick it out on the 22. Why are you trying to chew off more than you can bite? Oh, man, that is an opportunity missed that. Man, I love. Goodness gracious me. It was an unlucky penalty conceded by the Dragons, but they benefited from some luck there. And it's been a couple times now. The Sharks would have 2 bonus points here, but really, 5 is way better than 2. Also, a bonus point for the Dragons, so they'll end up with 5 if they seal the deal. So, reset scrum. Scrums won 5 Dragons, 3 Sharks. Scrums lost 1 Dragons. There haven't been many scrums, must say. I suppose there's been pretty good handling, avoiding scrums for the most. And that's a brilliant scrum by the Sharks, but somehow the Dragons get the ball away. They were being pile-driven backwards. A long pass to the right-hand side to Rio Dyer. Oh, he steps someone into oblivion there. And we've got pushing and shoving. Lovely. Rio Dyer. Fez and Bata. That was a bit comedic. Rio Dyer just dancing around him. So what actually happened there? Oh, is he saying forward pass? Tight one. Okay, so there was supposedly a knock on there. There you go. Seemed like it. Hendrikse feeds Esterhuizen, who makes a number of meters right over the halfway line, stands up again, and then he is tackled back to the halfway line, and there's a penalty. The ball was ripped off Esterhuizen, and then somehow the penalty was conceded. Brilliant run from Esterhuizen there. And he didn't release the man. Masuku makes up for his earlier transgressions and kicks it out into the 22. So Lewis Hughes tries to rip it, but he didn't allow him to place it. That was literally seconds from being allowable. Sharks have won all their lineouts. Interesting. Okay, let's do another one, yeah? Bata finds Grobler. Bata again. Henry Jacobs picks it up at the base of the ruck. Hendrikse to Corneral. Support from Pepsi Buthelezi. Flat ball to Trevor Nyakane. Hendrikse going to go left this time to Masuku, to Esterhazen. Didn't have very much space to work with. Oh, it's a penalty for the Sharks. To Jacobs, to Venter. Hendrikse back to Masuku, kicks the ball through for some reason. Doesn't work out, but they'll go back for the penalty. Not releasing the tackler. Interesting one, that. Sure. We're into the 75th minute. If the Sharks score now, sure, last 5 penalties conceded have been the Dragons. That has really helped the Sharks' cause. So Chris Coleman goes off, and he's replaced by Yendel, who was obviously a late bench replacement. Mbata. He will find Grobler, who's down to Hendrikse. Flat ball to Andre Esterhazen. He's 1 meter short. Hendrikse goes himself. He can't get over. Esterhazen came so close that time. Comes back slowly. Tackled backwards. But the ball does emerge. Jacobs plays Nyakane. Venter picks up. Gives it to Buthelezi. So Jacobs is going to pick it up again. He goes himself. But be careful here. Chituka. He's 2 meters short. And the ball has gone forward. Brilliant defense from the Dragons. And there's Lewis Hughes again, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That grin could get irritating after a while. Oh, so much happening and nothing being achieved. There's got to be something else there. A little pass inside, moving the point of contact to a little wider out. I don't know. A change of direction, anything. It's just too easy to defend. I mean, it really is as simple as that. 75 minutes, 55 seconds. Well, can the Sharks scrum show what they're made of here and force a penalty? This will be another one that got away if they don't manage to close this out. He feeds the scrum, picks up from the base. Brilliant from Basham. He's at 8 now. Really trying to... They have created some space for Will Reed, who kicks the ball out. Probably about 25 meters from the try line, just on the other side of the 22. This game still in the balance. The Sharks, of course, at this stage, will not go for a penalty because they are trailing by 4. That penalty that was missed by Reed, if they had kicked it, they would have been 7 clear, and the worst would have been a draw. But the Sharks still. Corneral takes it. That's a brilliant counter shove, but the ball comes out to Francois Venter. Hendrikse to Jacobs. Hendrikse. The ball goes over the top to Hooker. He cuts back inside. He's still going. Man, he's been good. Hendrikse to Corneral. Is it now or never for the Sharks? Hendrikse. Jacobs avoids the ball. It finds Inyakane. Hendrikse, Masuku. Flat ball to Esterhazen. He pops it to Julius, possibly? Look. And surely, they are going over the top there. But he comes back for the penalty. Offside. It was a lovely flat pass to Esterhazen, who then got the ball away. Esterhazen is infinitely more dangerous when he can get the ball away in a tackle. Because, yes, he makes lots of ground when he runs at the ball, but he can add so many options if he just distributes when he can. Jordan Hendrikse is hobbling off the field, and Lionel Cronje comes on. It's going to be interesting to see how they shuffle the back line. Hopefully that's not too much of an issue. Okay, Mbata. Will he find... And he finds Grobler, who again, Inyakane pops it down for him. Yes, advantage because he was taken out before he hit the ground. Corner roll. Fights his way forward. Hendrikse to Pepsi Buthelezi. He needs to get the ball back. He does. Hendrikse. And it's an intercept from the Dragons. Again, throwing caution to the wind there. So they were playing advantage. And again, a number of handbags being thrown. Tensions flaring. We're into the last minute of the game. It is literally now or never for the Sharks. A couple of times they have been very good in challenging the maul. And it looked like some cases there might have been a penalty where they didn't allow the line-out catcher to land. That time the referee was onto it. So, they're going to go for a scrum. Interesting. On the 15-meter line. As the clock ticks over to 80 minutes. And this will be the last play of the game unless there are more penalties. Can the Sharks steal defeat from the mouth of the dragon? The seafaring dragon, because that'd be the only way. So, Jaden Hendricks has played the whole game, but I mean, he should, shouldn't he? Especially in a close game like this. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Thankfully, thank you, John Plumtree. You've got your Springbok playing the whole match. Cameron Wright on the bench. Who's certainly experienced, but yeah. You got to play your main mana when the chips are down. And you don't always have to play your reserves. So that scrum went down, reset. Let's see what the ref says if it happens again. This is it. And the referee gives a short arm. Oh my word, that is atrocious. That's that new rule coming to screw over South Africans. A free kick, and they can't take the scrum. How? Oh my word. You see, you could just do that on purpose. You just engage early on purpose. That is a pathetic rule. They need to change that. How easy is that? If you are being screwed in the scrum, I mean, goodness gracious me, man. Tap and go from Hendrikse, their only option. He goes right. Back infield. The Sharks, desperate to score here. They have been thwarted a number of times. Esterhuizen takes it up, close to the 5-meter line. Hendrickse finds corner roll. Good cleanup. Hendrickse, they don't have to worry about getting close to the poles. It's somehow come back. Pepsi Buthelezi takes it forward. Desperation stakes for both teams. You go from winning and losing to losing and winning in the blink of an eye. Trying to put his hands on. The referee says no. See again, just a bit narrow from the Sharks here. I want Andre Esterhuizen standing a bit wider and running at pace onto the ball. Still in possession. James Fenter ready to pick it up. He does so. Chituka goes himself. Makes a few meters. Will Buthelezi pick this up? Seems like he will. Yes, he does. Deep into injury time here. I think Buthelezi again digging for the ball. It's taking ages to emerge. Very close to the line. Still digging. 1 meter short. Can the Sharks steal it from the Dragons at the death? Nyakane picks up. Can he get over? Nyakane again thwarted. Chituka is there. He goes himself. Certainly mustn't get held up over the line because that will bring an end to the match. Another rule I don't agree with. Or law, should I say. Hendrickse sends it a bit wider to Esterhuizen. Oh, my word. How didn't he get over? Unbelievable. The ball goes. Yes. Oh, that is a unbelievable ending. The Sharks have won it at the death with a try under the crossbar. It almost looked like it was an attempted intercept from one of the Dragons players. The ball then fell loose. And because the defense was a bit disjointed at that point, looks like the referee is going to ask the TMO to have a look, just to confirm. But have the Sharks stolen it at the death here? Wow. Who went over the line there? Possibly a Bata. See, it came forward off a Dragons player, and then Fez Mbata picked it up and went over the line. I can't see too much wrong with that. Yes, comes forward off a Dragons player. Unlucky from their part. Falls kindly for Mbatu, picks it up. What an ending to this match. They're still looking. Clear knock-on from the Dragons. And Bata picks it up. I'll be very surprised if clearly on the line. Wow, he threw everything at that. He tried to intercept it. Knocked it on. Would have been the hero if he had held on to it. Just explaining to Ben Carter, who must be devastated, the captain of the Dragons. And the tries given. What an ending. What a win for the Sharks. Masuku will surely tap this over. And the Sharks will win 33-30. Unbelievable. Eventually, All that hard work. A shame for the Dragons, but someone has to win. 4 tries scored from both sides. So the Dragons will get 2 points out of the game. They deserve at least that. It would have been a first ever victory over the Sharks for the Dragons, but never say die from the Sharks. And hasn't that been the story of the last month or so, especially in the Currie Cup? Tane Basham, the man of the match, on the losing side, but he was good. Bit of an all-round effort from the Sharks, no one necessarily standing out. Wow, so that kept us entertained right till the end. The Sharks giving us heart palpitations. So the final poll of 13 votes, thanks to those 13 people. 92% said the Sharks would win and 8% said a draw. Well, 92 of you were correct. Thanks for playing along. I certainly enjoyed my time doing this. First time today. So, yeah, hopefully it'll get a little better as the weeks progress. But from a technical point of view, at least, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much if the Dragons had won that one. But yeah, thankfully the Sharks pulled it through. So let's just see what happened in the Leinster match. So a recap there, try for Bata. So full time, wow, okay. Benetton ended up holding them off in the second half, 35-5 to Leinster, but still a pretty decent victory. 33-30 to the Sharks. Tries from Vincent Chituka, Jaden Hendrickse, Jorenzo Julius, Ethan Hooker, and Fezan Bata in the 84th minute. Here were tries from Basham, Coleman, Williams, and Carter for the Dragons. Conversions, 2 from Evans, 4 from Masuku. Yellow cards, 2 from the Sharks, and they still hold on to win. So pretty good effort from that point of view. Penalties, 1 for Evans, 1 for Reed. So that's that. Thanks a lot. Until next week.